Hi cheese lovers, welcome to your Valentine's Platterful tutorial. Let's get started. Okay, up first we are going to get started with our goat cheese. So go ahead and grab that and a larger square of plastic wrap. We are going to use the plastic wrap to take this goat cheese and form it into a heart for this very special holiday. So as you can see, it takes me a little bit of time to mush and squish this cheese into that heart shape, but just keep going. It gets a little bit softer and a little bit easier as you move it around, and just take your time and really get it into the shape that you like, so that once you take that plastic wrap off, you have no more movements. As you can see, after I take mine out of the plastic wrap, I do use my fingers and my hands to kind of form it into that final shape and smooth it out a little bit. And ta-da, you have a super cute little goat cheese heart. Okay, up next we have our Merlot Bellavitano, so go ahead and take this one out of the wrapper. Just know that it is a crumbly cheese, so make sure as you take that wrapper off that you try and cut it to the very tip of the wedge before pulling it off, because it will tend to crumble as you start to pull that wrapper off if it's not all the way to the end. Okay, now for cutting this cheese, we are going to take it from the small tip of the wedge all the way up. That first cut is going to be a little bit larger, so about 1 inch, and then every slice after that will be about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch all the way up the wedge. The main thing with this cheese is that we really want that nice, vibrant purple color, that rind, that Merlot color, to show when we place it on our board. So do not cut that off. It's edible, and it is probably the best part of the cheese in my opinion. So as you cut up, just make sure that you try and keep that purple intact. Okay, now for the placement of this one, as I mentioned, that purple part is what we really want to show. So we are going to have that face up so that when you're looking down on the board, you can see that. So use that tip as the kickstand to hold the wedge against, and then you'll start from the back and go down as you see me do in the video. We can also use this to curve a little bit to give a little bit of movement to our board. Okay, and lastly, we will have for our large kits our flavored Gouda. So go ahead and take this one out of the wrapper. Okay, for cutting this one, we are going to cut the wedge in half, and then we're going to take that larger back end of the wedge with the nice round piece, and we are going to actually cut into that and cut the center out of it. This gives us something really nice for placement when we cube the rest of this Gouda. So yes, take the rest of the Gouda and just cube it, and then we will nestle all of those cubes into that back round part of the wedge, the original wedge, when we place it on our board. Okay, up first for our charcuterie, we have our sliced salami. So with this, we are going to create some salami roses, very specific for this fun Valentine's themed board. So for the first and largest rose that I'm going to be creating, I'm going to use 7 slices of salami. So take those 7 slices and take them and place them over each other as you see me do in the video, kind of how they come in the package, but you do want to take them apart so that they're a little bit more movable as we shape them into this rose. So lay them out. Then you take the entire line of salami that you've laid out, fold it up almost in half, but not fully, and then we are going to rotate it and then roll from one end to the other. So roll, 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 roll. And there you go, a nice pretty rose. So we are now going to do this again, but this time I'm going to do it with a few less pieces of salami. So I'll do 5 and then I'll do 4, making 3 total roses to display on our board. My one tip for you on salami roses is that when you place them even on your board here while you're cutting everything up and getting it prepped to place, is to make sure that when you place them down that they are pinned up against something so that they do not unravel as you wait to place them on your actual board. Okay, and lastly for our large kits, we have our salami chub. So go ahead and take it out of the outer paper wrapping, and then there's an inside a plastic wrap that you'll want to take it out of, and then there is an additional casing on the outside of this salami chub that we will also remove. So the easiest way for me to do this is to actually cut off the tip of the chub, and then to take my scissors and get underneath that casing, make a little slit, which then allows me to easily rip it from the outside of that chub. This one is very simple and straightforward. We are just going to take our knife and cut this into slices about 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch thick, all the way up the chub. For this one, on placement, I'm actually going to use this to outline that goat cheese heart that we created. So no need to work on that. We will just use it to place on our board. Okay, now for an added bonus, we're going to turn strawberries into little hearts for this Valentine's Day board. So we're going to cut off the stem leafy part in a triangle, so in a V. So take it and go one side and then the other, cutting it into a perfect V. And then we're gonna cut that strawberry in half. That's gonna give us 2 little hearts to work with. You can, or you don't have to. If yours isn't really looking like a heart, you can take it and use your knife to make the edges more curved and make them more heart-shaped. Some strawberries look great without that, some do not. So if you want to, you can do that. You don't have to. Super cute way to add a little bit of additional flair to your Valentine's Day board. Okay, I'm going to do one more strawberry heart, and for this one, what you'll notice is I actually don't round those areas any more than what they are. I thought this one looked really cute on its own, so I'm leaving it as is. Totally your call, your creative freedom here on these strawberry hearts. I'm going to use a couple more strawberries for placement, but these I'm going to actually leave the green tops on to give my board a little bit more color and contrast. So for these, I'm just going to cut in half, and I'm going to place them on my board like that. All right, now we are going to build the standard board, and then I will build the large board. So if you got the large board, go ahead and look down in the description area and you can skip ahead to the large board build.